Hi, it's Alaska Granny. I'm putting together a grab-and-go bag from my emergency stockpile. I have a duffel bag that isn't being used, so it's a great idea to look in your closet, see if you have a satchel, a duffel, an extra backpack, some kind of a tote, and maybe put together an extra supply of food to go along with your bug-out bag or your emergency gear. I put aside for 5 days a can of a ready-to-open and eat meal with a can of fruit and a can of vegetables. But let's figure out how much food actually is that. Is that going to be enough for a single day? A can of tamales with a can of corn and apricots is 835 calories. A can of ravioli with mandarin oranges and green beans is 670 calories. A can of chicken pot pie with a can of peaches and green beans is 660 calories. A can of steak and potatoes with peach slices and vegetables is 600 calories. A can of chili with corn and pears is 1135 calories. That's a great start in an emergency, but we need to plan on around 2,000 calories per person per day. There's no way that that's going to meet up to those expectations. But in an emergency, you could grab and go, you could open these up and eat them right out of the can and have something to eat. You wouldn't have to prepare anything. That's part of the challenge of stocking our pantry with foods that we can readily open and eat that don't require much preparation in case we don't have a way to fix foods. There's a wide variety of foods from canned and packaged to pouches that are ready to eat that you could pack away for your grab-and-go emergency food kit. They're foods that are easy to find, they're inexpensive, and most of us can find open and eat cans of foods in the grocery store that we're willing to eat. But this isn't going to be enough if that's all that you had. That's one of the reasons why people are encouraged to store rice and beans. If you had that for a day, but you also had a pot of rice and a pot of beans, then you would have enough. We may not be able to cook rice and beans, so what can we put with this that can easily go into a bag, sit on the shelf, and we can grab and go with it when we need to? I put together foods that still have at least a 2-year shelf life left on them so that I can rotate the whole entire kit at one time. A small jar of peanut butter adds 2,660 calories. A can of bread is 1,060 calories. A can of beans has 560 calories. A bag of granola has 1,380 calories. A small bag of craisins or dried cranberries has 520 calories. Those are also foods that you can put away in the bag. They're not going to get crushed, they're not going to spoil, and they're going to stay fresh for a long time. There are a lot of different food options you can put together in your grab-and-go meal kit. If you look at the best by, sell by, use date, try to gather foods that all have approximately the same shelf life left in them. Look for a best by, use by, sell by date that's at least 2 years out, and then you can rotate the entire kit out at the same time. Put those foods in your pantry and eat them, and then replace them with foods that are fresh and have 2 more years on them. If you did have the opportunity to heat up some water and make these meals more complete, there are very simple options that you can include in your food kit. Add a packet of Idahoan instant mashed potatoes. They only need water, and the entire packet has 500 calories. North sides come in a variety of flavors of just add water pouches. They need a little bit of boiling, but then you have 600 additional calories. You can find all kinds of different flavors and choose some that you think would go well with the meals that you already planned with your canned foods. Include in your meal kit some paper plates, napkins, utensils, a few garbage bags. Put them together in a Ziploc bag or in some kind of a recycled container. Include them in the duffel with your food so that you have the things you need to serve the food and to be able to eat it. Make sure you include a can opener. Maybe you have a P38 or a P51. They're the little military or Boy Scout type can openers. I'll put a link to a video on how to use them if you're not familiar with them. Or look into your kitchen cupboards. Maybe you have an extra one that you can put away with this grab-and-go emergency food kit. I've loaded up my duffel bag. I have the cans of food, the peanut butter, granola, the extra sides, the paper plates, utensils, napkins, can openers, and garbage bags. Take this opportunity to look around your home. Find an old duffel bag, an old backpack, a tote. Put a food kit together for yourself or your family and set it aside with your emergency gear, your bug out bag and your emergency supplies. Then if you do have to leave your home, you can grab your bug out bag, any of the supplies you have room for, including your grab and go meal kit. Then you'll be better prepared for whatever the future holds. We don't know what's coming, and sometimes we read the news and we see what's going on in the world, and it's a little bit frightening and it's disconcerting. So take this time to get prepared rather than scared, and you'll be better able to face whatever the future brings. If you liked my video, I hope you'll share it with someone else who might enjoy it. Learn more at alaskagranny.com, and please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.